we are, here I am, we are one. Welcome to the side. Welcome to the Psycho Circus. Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, I think we know where the movie Gem and the Holograms got its plot from.
Oh man.
Yeah, people say that, talent scouts are vampiric. Well, at least we could say that we finally found a literal case of that idiom.
Yeah, but in this case, not the type of vampire you'd expect. I mean, we'll get into that into the episode, but I just want. I mean, I know we're gonna touch on this, but so his friend that helped them that with the band and everything, he just disappeared.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. Like that's it. Like, oh yeah, no, like we never bring him up again. We never talk about him. We never hear anything about him. It's like, and I mean, again, we'll get to those episodes, but it's kind of like, then what was your point in this? Honestly, like, I mean, it could have been like a whole thing about Watsu and his violin, or something like that. I kind of feel like the whole helping like this guy and making the band and everything made it more like, oh, Watsu has a friend that isn't trying to kill him or isn't a Fangire.
Yeah, finally, a normal human friend.
Yeah,
it's like,
but he was the lowest of the low.
It's like watching that episode of Peep Show where Mark finally makes a friend, except instead of a Nazi, he's a vampire.
Oh god.
Yeah, unless it's Helsing, in which case it can be both. Still not a good idea.
Still not a good idea.
Yeah, no. Oh, well, what are we here to talk about? We're talking about episodes 13 through 16 of Kamen Rider Kiva right here on the UA Rider Time Archive. I'm Mike, your host. With me is Steve Vasquez, who's been with me for the past season and a quarter. So here we are.
We're here again, folks, and I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. It's been rather chill, has it not?
Yeah. Well, like if you're in California, you might be experiencing some abnormal weather conditions.
Not on this side, but I kind of tell people that we have a literal wall that keeps us, like, any storm or anything that happens on your side, which you live in the LA, like all like that time. I don't experience that until like maybe a day or two later after it's passed. And that's if we do. Like, we know it's happening, but there's nothing here on Earth. We just get like the weather, obviously, like the cold, and there's 8 entrants in or out, so there's a lot of cold air around right now. But I have been told that you guys it's raining over there. Some reports of snow and hail, and even going like looking southbound to San Diego, it's like, oh yeah, no, it's bad. And what's also nuts is that a friend of mine is in Japan right now, and she's at Tokyo Disney Sea, and she told me, bro, it's literally a fucking shit show over here.
Wow.
Well, it's Japan, so I'm like, yeah, no, apparently, yeah, that storm is pretty big. It's pretty long.
Yeah.
So we're getting it.
Yeah, but that's the crazy thing. Japan is further up north, and it's more surrounded by water than California is.
People don't realize it's an island. Like, I had to explain to some people, like, it's not a continental place; it's an island.
It's 4 islands. It's 4 freaking islands. It's like a larger Hawaii. Which is ironic because a lot of Japanese Americans live in Hawaii, but the Japanese, they live in Japan, which is also 4 islands. Yeah. It's I do want to go there. Still haven't been. Some of my friends have. Some of my friends going, but it is what it is. But man, these okay. So what's convenient is that we have clear cut 2 sets of 2 part episodes. We can knock them out very easily, and and just have fun with this. Because honestly, like I love just like busting jokes about some of these episodes. Like again, town scouts are vampires.
Yeah, pretty much.
They'll bleed you dry.
They'll bleed you dry, and they'll make you do horrible decisions that will like cost you some things very important other than money. Also, just a note, since Mike told me, to our fans and people who are viewing, we will not have clips in this episode, sadly. Sucks, no
Yeah, it's
visuals
been
to
a
help.
thing all week. It's been a thing all week. Unfortunately, our previous episode did get taken down on Facebook. It's still available on YouTube, so if you're behind, but and you need to like recap, don't worry. It's still available on YouTube, just not on Facebook. But Facebook and their policies on using screenshots, it is what it is. It's like
We're not using audio. We're not using any of that. And
yeah.
Still, I'm like, wow, really? Okay.
Yeah, and it's crazy that on YouTube, not on Facebook. I don't know what the rules on Facebook are, but like on YouTube, it's like you got people straight up using video clips with audio and with
music. Yeah.
With impunity, and that's not to knock at those other toku tubers. More power to you guys. Like you keep fighting the good fight, but when we're using,
let's not throw shade at the people who can and cannot, because again, they're a lot bigger than us in terms of.
It's more of a peeve of like, why are we being penalized more while using less?
It's the man, not
the man,
not the people. The man, not the people. And again, you know how Japan is with their copyright. In fact, there is no such thing as copyright in Japan. So I'm surprised that anything Kamen Rider, Sentai, Toko, or even anime related still gets reviewed, because remember, like a year or two ago, there was that whole scandal with a YouTuber that they were like, oh, they're gonna sue him, and they took down all of his videos and blah blah, and Japan just doesn't want him. Like, well, yes, but at the same time, it's like,
so we're not hating on you fellow Toku students. We're hating on Principal Joan Rivers. That's a School of Rock reference, in case anyone hasn't figured that out.
Shout out to Jet Black. He is a national treasure. We must protect that man. Jet Black should have been in this series. This was a very musical series. He should have been in this show.
No, it was a fantastic it was a fantastic film. So like and I still rewatch it and stuff. I don't know how I feel about the TV show, because I know Nickelodeon made a TV show. I only saw a few episodes. And
there's a TV show of School of Rock?
Yes. Different cast, and they basically like crammed the entire plot of the movie into the pilot episode.
Ouch.
Yeah, they even like, all I remember, so there was an entire episode dedicated to like the Asian kid with the keyboard. Like his dad was giving him crap for like not tying his tie into a Windsor knot. And like I distinctly remember that episode because the dad was played by Chris Kyson Lee from the show Heroes.
Yeah. I will say, for a Windsor knot, really. I mean, goddamn people. I know Winston Churchill wore one, for crying out loud, but not everyone who wears it is going to be great.
Yeah, it's like,
not to mention the reason why I bet you he wore that Windsor knot to keep that giant melon that he called a head on his shoulders. Yeah, the only strongest knot that there is.
Yeah, it's like, don't get me wrong, I wear Windsor knot. I like the Windsor knot, but I'm not going to give other people crap for using other knots. And there are other knots that are appropriate for formal wear.
Yeah, but people don't get it.
Yeah.
Just like people don't get about to stay away from talent scouts, especially in today's society.
Yeah, even more so with the whole like the way they gaslight you. It's like, oh, I'm gonna need you to shill up an extra several hundred yen for headshots.
Okay, we're gonna just dive into it. So remind me of this gentleman's name, because I've never bothered to write it because I keep forgetting.
Oh, you mean Kengo?
Yeah, Kendo, there you go.
Kengo, yeah.
I admire his passion. I admire what he wants to do, like he's got a goal, he's got something that he wants to do. And he wants to do it. He wants to be like Freddie Mercury or Simone from Gurren Lagann and shatter the heavens with rock and rock the world out. And I'm like, good man, good. That's what we need. But after the show, after everything, having to reach, like, some creepy dude is just stalking them in this warehouse. Like, first off, why are you guys practicing in a warehouse? And then just like a creepy stalker dude confronts Wataru first, only to get shot down because the guy says, like, some line that, like, oh wait, what? Like, you got talent, kid. You got it. It's like Wataru's like, no. I mean, I'm helping a friend.
I love how he's barking up the wrong tree. It's like, yeah, I appreciate it, but
my friend is a lot more. Yeah, my friend's more talented than me. I'd rather make him famous than me.
But I'm not here for your friend. I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Only for him to double down and go for the friend anyways.
Yeah, and then it's just like, no. And just, stuff happens in the episode, and then apparently it all cycles back to his friend, which, again, he's like, but Wataru is in high spirit, saying, like, hey, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to, blah, blah, blah. I'm still going to. He actually helps him at a part-time job at a construction site.
Yeah.
To get money.
It's like, Wataru, I already told you that class action lawsuit was all fake. You don't have to keep helping in the construction yard. Yeah. This is not about the class action lawsuit anymore.
Yeah, oh my god. I love her so much. Love her. So we didn't get a lot of focus on her, but she was actually, she was so right. She was like, yeah, this is shady. I'm like, do people not, like, hey, I like, it all sounds too good to be true. First, you got to drop an insane, well, not an insane, but more like a manageable but very steep chunk of change first before this even happens. Yeah. And it's amazing how this certain Fengar is a rhinoceros Fengar. Yes.
Rhinoceros Fengar.
Yes. Not a big fan of the look.
No, like, I also thought he's kind of bland looking.
Yeah.
Face-wise.
I mean, you do know that rhino. I mean, I know they call it a black rhino, but rhinos aren't actually black. They're like a slate kind of grayish, brownish color. Mm-hmm. Not to mention, I'm like, you could have taken like all species of rhinos and their shades of their pelts and just kind of done something with it, But instead, we just get this flat black, and is it just me? Does this rhinoceros look like he's wearing a ball cap?
Yeah, it kind of does. And
like the way the horns are out.
Yeah.
Like, is he?
It protrudes like a little.
Yeah, there's like the horn that curves up, and then there's another just. I'm like, is he wearing a ball cap? And his two ears are like.
It's like. It's okay. So it's like they went with. It's like they went with a hornbill motif, which I don't know. I think there's other species of rhino they could have gone with, but I also think there are better ways you could also accentuate the whole toucan aspect of the
I
bird thing.
I had to really pay attention where
Yeah,
the bird was in this one because I'm like
yeah,
it's all flat and black and the only colors are on the. I think this is probably the one Fangire that. Well, I mean, there's gonna be a couple more, but there's I think this one was the one like the one where they were just like lazy as hell and just like just get it out, just get it
yeah.
out.
Just get
Like
it out of the way. Yeah,
there was no attention to detail here. It was all like just like paint it flat black and there you go, and like
yeah.
it kind of felt kind of fillery even though like this is technically part of the story.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, on the upside, this is one of the only two Fangires we see in these next 4 episodes. And the other Fangire that we're going to talk about won't even be, well, like that, the other Fangire operates a little bit more differently compared to the ones that we've seen so far.
Is it
Or,
even a Fangire, like legitimately? I
Mhm.
mean, for our fans asking, like, is it or is it something else? I'm like,
Uh,
oh,
but I will
and
say,
what now?
but as far as standard vampire Fangires go, it's like, yep, Rhinoceros the only one we have to worry about. We
Yeah,
got his design out of the way, so we're good.
Mhm.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Just yeah, and yeah, it's a toucan, barely noticeable. I would have to say this is probably one of the lazier designs. I mean, I'm not a fan of the prawn Fangire's design, but even that still felt a little bit more creative compared to the Rhino Fangire. I'm
We're
sorry,
talking
but
about
like,
the one from the last review, right?
yeah, from episode 8,
Yeah,
7, and 8, yeah,
Mhm.
man, I can't believe episode 8 was 2 weeks ago. We're already on like 16 through, we're already on 13 through 16.
We're sort of semi there.
Yeah, yeah, we're almost at we're almost. I will say this: I do find it interesting how this season there's effectively 3 arcs in total, and the last arc is only 5 episodes, and the first arc is 24. It's like. It's like if you really think about it, we could get away with having only 2 arcs, 24 and 24, be done with it. But no, it's more like 24, 19, and 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yes, we are past the halfway point of the first arc. So here we are. Here we stand. We are one. I know I'm quoting Psycho Circus a lot today. It's Universal Studios, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But also, I mean, we're still also dealing with a lot of stuff back in '86 with
yeah.
Toya.
The more interesting plot point is in 1986 for here because the gist of it is Otoya basically tries to goat I was gonna say
Jiro.
Jiro, yes. I was gonna say Garlu because technically that is his wolfen name. Good Saber. Okay. Okay, now I got that out of my system.
Yeah.
Oh my god, are you playing? Are you playing in the background?
Yeah, it's there. It's there. I was hoping it wasn't getting too much.
Yeah, that's fine. It's like it's barely noticeable, but I do recognize the bloody rose when I hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean that was the most interesting part in these 2 episodes. More so, what was happening in '86 more than what was happening in
yeah.
current
Actually,
time.
I would have to say like 86 is probably the more interesting part in all 4 episodes, but I would have to say 2008 is definitely more interesting in the next 2 episodes compared to these 2 episodes because again, like the only thing going on here is we have a talents count Fangire who like tries to gaslight talented people out of their money, and then once he bleeds them dry, no pun intended, he just consumes them and takes their belongings and
I
makes a
mean,
shrine for them.
there's the argument of did he bleed them dry? It's like he's like the more that they give, it's like they believe themselves that they're getting closer to their goal,
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like he feeds on their hopes and dreams. Like that's kind of his thing. Like he feeds on it. And it kind of to him, it's like he feels as though it'll come down to like once he thinks they are like have reached that point, he attacks. Like there's that whole scene like in the past
painter?
when with the guy who did the baseball, like the
All
baseball.
right. Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I got you more money," and it's like, "Oh, great, great, great! You're doing great. You're doing good." And just out of nowhere, he just gets them, sucks them
Yeah.
dry,
Yeah.
and it's like, and he takes trophies. He takes trophies.
Yeah. Yeah, and it makes me think. I think that's probably why, like, he went for Wataru instead of Kengo until like Wataru made it clear that he's not interested, because I think he only gets one person per talent.
I did kind of look at that, and I was like, maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I was like, I think I counted like 20 people or 20 or like in these two episodes,
Mhm.
like 20 different. He keeps trophies, and each one is like, so you've been doing this for almost 20 some odd years or whatnot, and just feeding off of people, but you haven't really like accumulated a lot. But we have noticed that not everything that's being displayed, it's a different area of
Yeah,
talent. There's
yeah. We see the
photography.
artist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a lot of artistry. Ballerinas, photographers,
yeah,
painters, sculptors, athletes of all
yeah.
walks of life, and it's like, yeah. Now that you pointed out, I'm like, yeah, now it makes sense. He's getting every single, like, oh, yeah, no, a musician or what? Yeah, but there's many musicians. There's drummers, there's
Yeah.
guitarists, bass players, violinists, cellists.
Mhm.
Like he could accumulate one hell of a collection if he wasn't stupid.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's like he's legit only getting like one of each talent, as opposed to just getting a bunch of people who happen to be talented. But that's also, I think, probably why. But I think that's why, like, he went exclusively for Wataru, and then exclusively for Kango, just because, like, well, he knew he's not going to be able to get anything out of Wataru. So
Hmm.
he's like, I need to switch targets. But
Yeah, but again, Watsu's
propping
very
him up.
like, yeah, he's very like open eyed and naive. He's like, I want to do my goal. It was surprising that he told Keigo that he was like, this is my dream, but I
Yeah,
wouldn't mind helping you with your dream.
yeah.
Which again,
I love that bromance between them. It's so
yeah,
cute.
yeah. This is why I kind of, again, we're gonna get there. It's like these two episodes kind of ticked me off like later on. Like Watsudu is like, dude, I will so help you. I will so like blah blah. And he's like, I'm like, well, you just met the guy. I'm like, oh well, he's got a friend. He's got like, blah blah. And then, just what happens later. Just wait, what? What? What the hell? Like, what happened? And it's not Wataru's fault. But it's like, again, it's always those people that are just like, oh, they know better. I'm like, bro, you do realize. So this guy's asking you for money. He says he's a talent scout, but you're not realizing how much you're throwing in. I'm like, by this point, they should have already done something. Actions of commerce. Like you paid for something, you should be seeing the results of it, not be like, oh, you got to keep giving more and more and more.
Yeah. There needs to be some kind of reciprocity, and I'm very suspicious when like people do that. And this actually almost happened to me at one point, where like there was like there was supposed to be like this audition to be a radio DJ or something, and like so like I went to like the seminar where like this dude introduces you to the company, and then they make you do sort of like a dry audition, which honestly looked very suspicious for me. And they're like, oh yeah, so just so you guys know, we do have press badges, but the thing is, when you guys use a press badge, we do need you to put in $100 deposit while you're using it, so that, because we've had instances in the past where people would get fired, but they would keep the press badge so that they would like illegally go to press events. And like I'm thinking that sounds kind of reasonable, but then like I later get a call back. It's like, hey, we're calling you back about your audition. Like we really liked your audition, and I'm thinking, wait, you really did? Because I honestly thought I choked on it. So here's the thing: we need you to put in $100 deposit right now, and then we could get started on your radio career. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm thinking, wait a minute. Why would you want my press batch deposit now if I'm not even doing any press work yet? That seems a little suspicious. So I decided not to follow through on that. Like I just cut that venture off like then and there. And then I did some research on that radio company. Turns out, yeah, a lot of people were grieving because they were getting scammed.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny is that I was like really suspicious too, because like when I left the building for that radio station, I was wondering, where are the satellites? Don't like radio stations need satellites? Like, I don't think it's not even like a tall building either. And keep in mind at the time I was not an expert on waves or anything, but I at least had the common sense to like question. It's like, hey, I'm noticing there aren't radio dishes. Should there be like a radio tower?
A small one at least.
Yeah, like how are you sending radio signals, even if they're converted to microwaves? I mean, I didn't understand microwaves at the time. I'm just like using my current knowledge of waves. Even if you're like sending it as a microwave, like cell phones do, you would still need a microwave tower.
Yeah. It was all super suspicious from the very get-go, and the only one who like realized was Shizuka.
Yeah, props to Homegirl, yeah.
And then it's like, and then Megumin got the whole thing, but yeah, but then we go back to 86 because apparently Jiro goes to the coffee shop and tells everyone that Otoya attacked him.
Mm-hmm.
That they attacked him as Itza. And just going off like, blah, blah. And I'm like, you don't look banged up, Jiro. But again, it's that thing we said in the last review about Yumi. About Yuri.
Yeah.
It's like, why? I mean, we know Toya. We know. We get it, okay? But you got to ask yourself the question, Yuri, why would Toya like physically attack someone with an experimental super suit that could literally have killed them? Like, no problem. But Jiro doesn't look at all damaged. He looks fine. Even watching the scene right here on my monitor, I kind of noticed that the boss, the main of Blue Sky, it never really looks towards Jiro. Like he's talking to him, but it's kind of like he's looking at him at the side. Like I'm hearing what you're saying. Yeah. I'm hearing what you're saying, but I'm not believing it fully. Because if you were attacked by Itza, you would not be standing.
Yeah.
And it's like you took a punch, you took this, but you're still walking.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of suspicious, and Yuri's just shitting on Toya, just shitting on him. And I'm like, yeah, that's her thing. That's her thing. But I'm like, really, but everything like, oh, poor Jiro, poor. I'm like, you do realize, or you don't. I think everyone here, except for the coffee shop owner, understands what like. Well, they don't like. He doesn't get it because he's just a coffee shop owner. Mm-hmm. But it's like, well, no, Jiro's a cool guy. He's a great guy. He's super nice, and like, I like him. Everyone here likes him. The dog likes him, and I mean, he can't be all bad. He's a card-carrying member of my shop, and it's like, you have membership cards. And yeah, Jiro is number one.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
again, no person who likes this group could possibly be a villain.
yeah, just like, and it's just like, there he is. He whips it out, just whips it out like 100%. And I'm like, all right, cool. But it's like, yeah, you know what? Yuri confronts Toya, and we think he's all right. You're like, wow, like what everyone else who's worn the suit is just like they're convulsing, they're foaming at the mouth, they're all like dying or like, and yeah, Toya is just no, I'm great. He's even like doing Gundam style while
Yeah.
Yuri's on the phone, which apparently that is a very popular meme in our little community. But then
Yeah.
he goes to the bathroom and he's just dying.
Yeah.
He's like holding his chest. He's like, "Oh fuck this shit." I'm like,
Yeah, like it's like he's having a heart attack. It's like
"Yeah,
he just like inhaled a ton of Faust gas and then used a blizzard knuckle for the first time.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Like that was yeah. So he is affected. He is affected. He's just putting up a front in front of Yuri.
Yeah, he's trying to make it
With
look like, oh no, the Aces system doesn't affect me at all. I'm
yeah,
superhuman.
but it's like, can you imagine? It's like, dude, you went through shit and you're running around, jumping around, doing somersaults and dances, and then you're like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. And the minute you do, you're just like, you've collapsed to the floor, like holding your chest, sweating, and your eyes are dilated. It's like, dude, you are you
You're
are
a champ.
you are a champion. I don't give it like at that point, like, oh my god, just no. I'm like, no. But yeah, then we cut back to the present, and apparently for why I don't get this scene at all personally.
Mhm.
Is so we already mentioned the Fangar and blah blah blah. It's to take Nago, who
Mhm.
also used the suit in this
Mhm.
era against Kiva, and kind of mad that it didn't work or it didn't work
Yeah.
out the way he thought it would, only to show him. And again, I'm like, what? This take him to a warehouse with a crane,
Yeah.
a crane. I'm like, you know, you. We know we have auxiliary machines. We got Castle Dora. We have Birth later on has like the combinations of the vending machines that kind of make
Yeah.
like the tread tank and
Yeah. The
everything.
giant
And
saucery.
yeah, you have I had it here. I don't know. Well, I mean, you have like lock seeds
Yeah. Yeah.
that would be like a watermelon mech or something like that.
Yeah.
And they walk and like, wait, what? It's a crane, or I'm sorry,
It's one of those
what?
shovel.
Yeah, it's like a shovel. It's an excavator. It's an
Yeah.
excavator. I'm like, and it's like, this is Kiva. This is Itza's upgrade. I'm like, it's an excavator.
Yeah,
It
like you're
it
thinking
it
the upgrade would be like a patch node or maybe a new
it looks.
form.
I know. I'm like, I get maybe why, because I'm like, it does look like a mechanical white dragon.
Yeah.
To probably to probably be the counterpart of Castle Dora, but I'm like, it's still an excavator. I'm like, what? I'm like, man, you guys must be just on the lowest
But
totem.
instead of tire treads, it's got levitating orbs.
It's gotta be one of them. Like, man, you guys must be on the low end of the receiving of getting Japanese funding, huh? Like,
Yeah.
you're just taking an excavator and giving it to a Kamen Rider and be like, here. I'm like, what? I mean, predating build, but I'm like, I would imagine you guys would have built something for Itza so much better than just a freaking forklift.
Yeah, even Ghost Rider was able to turn, like a construction vehicle into a giant magma buzzsaw thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
this was kind of like, did we really need to go back into the present to see this? Especially since we get to that part that I dislike about these two episodes, is that when Wataru tells Kendo about what they discovered about the guy, he literally tells him to fuck off.
Yeah.
He literally said, I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Why would Wataru want to stop your dream? He has been supporting you and helping you.
Yeah, he even put his own dream on hold for your dream.
He got the band together. You got Megumi and Shizuka, and like you guys performed. Like
you guys did a Tetra Fang song together.
Yeah, you guys did everything, and it's like, oh yeah, no, well, what? Like you're just jealous that my dream is coming true. I'm like, bro, you pretty much paid like a crazy amount, and yet you've not seen anything. No receipt.
Dream?
No.
Did you sell out a venue? Did you book a venue?
Did you even get into an office to write a song in a professional like looking area? No, nothing.
And look with the amount of money he forked over, like he could have booked a venue to do a show.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, I'm like, I thought you were broke, dude. I thought you were broke. Did you not say that? But where did you get this money from? Oh, he's been working at the construction site.
Why weren't you doing that in the first place? And then
why? Like, oh no, he didn't want to do it because again, this guy is a piece of shit because he would rather that it be given to him, not actually work for it. But no, that's too much work. Like he would rather someone do it. But like, yeah, but you ain't got no receipts, no nothing. And you totally disrespected Wataru because you just took a shovel of dirt and threw it at him and like, get lost, man. We're not friends anymore. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, what? What?
And I'm like, and I know there might be some dude out there watching our video. It's like, but you don't know what it's like to like record a CD or book a venue. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do. I'm in the business. I'm in the business of that.
We've been with iShine for like 3. I mean, I've been with them for 3 years. You were probably with them longer, and it's like we've done so many shows with them. Like all those second street
and all the red tape that goes into it. Like it ain't just about booking. It's also like how much space do you need? How many people are you assuming that you're gonna have? What is that you're gonna need? Are you gonna need lighting? Are you gonna need some tech? Do you got your own sound? Do you have your own thing? Because there's just a lot of things that go into it. It ain't just booking the venue.
Yeah.
But the fact that this guy is just like he's just getting fed a line, and again, nothing to show off. And it's like, again, Wataru being the good boy that he is, decides to follow this guy and investigate to find out. Yeah, he's got a trophy of like deceased artists, and it's been going on for quite a while, man. He's a sneaky rhinoceros with apparently a very nice house.
And also, I can't remember if it was episode 14 or 16, but there was a point where Megumi was like actually trying to like do some research on people who have died in the last 22 years. And I'm like, why weren't you doing this in the last 12 episodes?
Yeah, she's done a lot more work than her mom though. Because we go back to her mom and Toya, and they're getting a massage in a very questionable place of all things.
Yeah, and I don't know why, but the shoe shiner smells a little bit salty, and the chiropractor smells a little rusty.
He's apparently he's got God's touch, and that little boy can surely make a shoe shine. Yeah. And I'm like, just wait, what? So there's a lot of crazy pacing in these 2 episodes, because again, we see Ramon and Ricky. This is what they're doing. This is what's going on with their lives. They are a masseuse and a shoe shine boy. And Jiro is just there being Jiro, being a dumbass. Like, hey, Jiro, at least they're working. At least they're doing something.
Yeah, they're not just sitting around all day drinking coffee and listening to one band. and you're probably thinking, well, he must be doing something to earn that coffee. I'm like, yeah, but don't forget, up to that point, he got his coffee for free.
Yep.
So he was still mooching.
Yeah, he's still mooching. But fast forward through all that stuff again. We go through. So again, our favorite reject from a Japanese rock band is apparently performing again in another warehouse. And then guy shows up, literal leech shows up, and then he turns into the rhinoceros and then attacks him. But then Kiva shows up to start fighting him and kicking his ass. Only to be like, he's kind of confused. It's like he had that dumb look in his face, like, so am I not getting like the venue or something?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, you nearly were killed. You were nearly the subject of a documentary
that wouldn't air for another 20 years.
Yeah, so
on Netflix.
Yeah,
and so I'm pretty sure someone would sue someone in the process.
Yeah, and again, just again, forget this guy, people, because this is the last time we see him. Because now we just focus on the battle between a rhinoceros and a vampire fighting it out.
Yeah, but this time, we get Dolga Hama.
Let's see.
And I find it funny how like Jiro inside Castle Doors like, damn, he didn't pick me.
Yeah, they were mad. That's like, but Kiva was like, no, we need a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
We need to have a big boy to fight a big boy. And
and but what's really weird is how like when we see Ricky for the first time in 2008, like a really good shot of Ricky, and not just like, oh, he's vaguely in the background. It's like he takes a chess piece and crushes it to death. I'm like, you guys are
You're very angry.
You guys are trapped inside that castle for what may be 22 years. I'm not saying exactly 22 years. I'm just saying, who knows how long you guys have been inside the castle or why you're there. But if you guys are spending all of your time inside Castle Doran, aren't you going to run out of chess pieces if you keep crushing them?
I don't know. It just seems like he just deals like, nah, whatever. And we get to see the Doran crush. We see all the, it's a very heavy sledgehammer fist that uses purple lightning, because apparently Ricky is of a species of not Fangire, but Frankensteinian type people.
Yeah, which they are called Frankens,
which I'm like, are you guys built or are you guys born this way?
Yeah.
That is the question.
Maybe I was born this way.
Yeah, no, were you born this way, or is it just like, a transition? Because
I know that I don't talk, but I give a hell of a massage.
He's got the hands of an angel apparently, but the strength of God in his fingers. It's like, man,
he's got the hands of an angel, but the fists of a devil.
Yeah, I'm like, the man knows how to massage. He knows how to. I mean, look at what happened to Toy. He got his ass kicked. But Ricky just is like the strong, silent type, and it's like just like with Jiro, his race was also wiped out. Was also like, or he's just a wanderer now. They're all three of these guys are Ronins, pretty much.
Yeah, but man, that hammer is really cool though, because
that's a really sick hammer, especially when they do the awakening where the hand
or like the hand opens up and you got the eye. It's like, it's a giant construct of an even bigger fist. He's like just guiding that fist.
Apparently, the explanation is the reason why the eye opens is to like, in case of invisibility or like some effect, it like the eye kind of neutralizes it.
Okay.
I don't know. I have to look into that. But yeah, no, they go through that. We never see Fuckboy Rockboy again. We don't ever see him again. Or maybe we do. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
but
then
we don't see him in the next 2 episodes. So that's
and then we get into again back to 86, where you know, again,
Toya,
yeah,
playing with fire.
he is just like, no, you are a bad person. You are a horrible person. They just start going at it. They start battling each other, both him and Jiro. But you got Itza versus a Wolfen, and apparently Ricky shows up, and now he's getting double teamed, and he's getting his ass kicked like in a rigged WWE match.
3v1.
And
Which one's the real Sting?
yeah. And then it's like, okay, yeah, next episode. Okay, next episode. What do we got?
So, okay, so here's where we go more into both Jiro's and Yuri's backstory. So, basically, so let's focus entirely on the 86 part first.
That's all there is, like, seriously.
Yeah, and then we'll just briefly go into the 2008 stuff. So in the past, we find out more about Jiro's people. Apparently, so we know that Yuri's mom was killed by a mysterious Fangire with a rook tattoo on his hand.
Yeah,
well,
apparently chess is a very violent sport.
I mean, it kind of is. I mean,
look at what Ricky was doing to the poor rook. He's like, Frankenstein don't like rook.
It's like if you've ever seen the music video for Modern Crusaders by Enigma, it's like the chess game gets really violent.
A friend of mine who, again, I've had people watching this because I'm like, this will be up you weirdos' alley, you know? And it's like, how come every time they mention like vampires or like the occult or something, like chess has to be involved, and it's the most violent game of chess. I'm like, you got this.
If it's not chess, it's
what did you want? Checkers? You want poker? I mean, can you imagine Harry Potter and Wizards poker? No.
Once upon I had my own idea for an American tokusatsu, and you would have like two different groups of villains, and like one group of villain would be like chess themed, and the other group of villains would be card themed, because low key it would be based on Alice in Wonderland. But it's a kind of interesting. You got a King Queen Jack Ace versus King Queen Bishop Rook.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna be focusing a lot on so I don't know. We do know who is this mysterious tattooed chess person. We don't know yet, or we will know soon enough, sort of. It's just that you kind of right now you're kind of scratching your head, and you're kind of like, what's your deal? Like, why did you, like, because again, if you know your chess pieces, if you know, like, you know, the pawns, the rooks, the bishops, king, queens, and what they actually do, you're kind of like, wait, why are you doing something like this? Like, you're apparently by the rules, which we, again, not there yet. It's gonna be probably the next one. It's like, you're not supposed to do that by law. Like, you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
So we got a loose chess piece going around.
Yeah, and as the show progresses, we're gonna find out just how loose the chess piece is. But we do basically find out that this character is known as Rook of a group called the Checkmate Four, which are the main villains of the show. They are the four leading. They're the four leaders of the Fangires. I mean, technically, they're like, would be the absolute, but the thing is, they're the pantheon, basically.
In chess, it's the queen, not the king. You know, that's. I mean, what? It depends. I mean, it depends on the style. And depends on what you're doing. I mean, the queen is not the end all be all. The queen can be taken out by pawns and
and it won't be the end
envision.
game, but
Yeah, it's not the end game, but still, it's like again, yeah.
I ever watched an anime called No Game No Life. I have not. I have not had a chance to read the book, so I have not. I don't know anything that happens past season 1 and the movie because that's all that's ever been made. But it plays on an interesting concept, like fan service aside. I like the concept of this series because I love playing board games and I'm a humanist. And you're basically combining those two things into an isekai with the gratuitous fan service.
Yep.
But like I love how like humanity so basically the premise of it is you have 16 dominant species, not unlike the 52 dominant species in Kamen Rider Blade. And each one of them is represented by a chess piece. And basically, once all 16 chess pieces are assembled, a person can challenge the game god that rules over the entire universe within that isekai. But I do find the fact that of all of those species, humanity being the king is an interesting concept because compared to elves, dog people, vampires, gods, cyborgs, like
someone's really elevating society.
Yeah.
Like really.
Yeah.
We have no claws, we have no fangs, we have no poisons, we have no magic, we have nothing compared to all these other races that can conjure and manipulate and manifestate and blah blah blah, while humans are just. I mean, that's even the same here with Kiva. It's like how did humans get to this to be like the dominance, as in like, it kind of just seems like more as like in especially with Kiva as an example, it's like humans just rapidly spread. Like they just did, and that's why it's really is just like again a cycle of nature where, well, yeah, well, if there's a lot, there's predators, so that's what the Fangires do. But Fangires are like one of 12 or 13 in this world, so it's kind of like, well, you gotta thin out the numbers somehow, and plagues and all that stuff aren't it. So I'm like, yeah, but then there are those that also
but it's the 13 other species that are being thinned out instead of humans.
Why? Because they're greedy bastards. That's why the top are greedy because, well, yeah, you hunted them or you blah 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 them to extinction. So obviously there's no more. So it's like, well, now we just got to deal with humans. Yeah, but you guys don't see the problem. It kind of reminded me of that episode of the series Dinosaurs back in the day, when it's like, wait, you small creatures are the last two ever. Yeah, we are. So if you guys are gone, that's it, right? There's no more. Yeah. And we kind of depend on you for food or whatever. Yeah. But if we eat you, it'll be delicious or whatever it is we're going to do. And yet with, especially with, with the Wolpins, the Gill people, the Frankens, it's like, yeah, they kind of served a purpose, but now they don't. And now that's kind of like, oh, wait, what? So what happens when they're gone? And then there's nothing else. Well, then you guys are going to start going at each other.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's all you guys want. Yeah, no more of us. We're done. It's over.
Yeah.
So and then you create vendettas. That's why like now it's like the upper food chain is now not realizing it, but they like, well, wait. It's like, it's that old story as old as time. It's like you don't realize until it's like.
But what I was getting at is like humans have no particular abilities that make us
The,
more
the king.
powerful compared to other species. But what makes us the king piece is we have a an unlikely skill that other creatures don't. So, what is it that defines us as a species that puts us above all these other species that are both stronger and smarter than us? It's like, and it's actually really cool. See the stick? I could use a stick instead of a claw. See this rock? I could use it instead of a fang. If I put the stick with this rock, I could use it as both.
That is pretty much the ingenuity, pretty much.
Yeah.
But
And it's
yeah,
beautiful.
mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
But yeah, apparently we got this guy walking around and he crosses paths with Jiro.
Yeah. And Jiro gets his butt kicked, naturally.
Yeah, he gets his butt kicked, and it's amazing how like a lot of people are like, "Wait, who is this guy?" Who's like, "Do you not see the rook piece on the
Yeah.
back of his jacket?"
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm
So
like,
let's
"Who
so
is
let's
this? Who is this mysterious man who just kicked our favorite wolf boy's butt?"
so let's get into the design. He is a lion Fangire. The hidden bird motif is a dodo,
Hang
which you
on,
can
I'm
which you
pulling
can
it up.
see its beak on his shoulders.
Let me see here. Let me see. Yeah. Let me. On out that he also has befriended Wataru and Shizuka in the current timeline.
Yeah, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where is
Now,
that file?
one particular thing about Checkmate 4 compared to other Fangires, so they have an additional aesthetic where they have human-shaped statues on their bodies. In Rook's case, he has like two cherub heads, like blowing on bugles on his
Let's
shoulders.
let's see. Yeah. The two Sharpens, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a very nice, they're like, oh, he's a lion. I'm like, yeah, but that's kind of that's the thing we rarely, if never, we see again, especially with Fangires, is that
Yeah.
you have the Chevrons on, like, and so on. But it's like, it's amazing again. You point out that, oh, it's a dodo, but the dodos are on his shoulders.
Yeah.
It was also in line with the angels, with the Chevrons on his
Yeah.
shoulders as well. So a very, very, Inception-esque type of
Mhm.
like design there, especially with the wings on his
Head.
head.
Yeah.
It kind of makes it seem like, again, with these particular villains, that they are not your average Fangire or average enemy that you would encounter. It's kind of like encountering any video game, a divine, or in
Mhm.
this case a demonic uh entity of the realm, where it's like you could see the
Mhm.
oh wait, this is not a common enemy. This is something else. This is mid boss levels.
Yeah, and I love how like the wings and his mane kind of make it look like a nimbus cloud, sort
Yeah,
of
yeah,
like
yeah.
the Checkmate 4 have some sort of advent over other
Are
Fangires,
they
they are they're decreed by a deity that they are above all other Fangires.
are they angels, or are they devils? Are they here to save us, or are they here to destroy us? We don't know, and especially when it comes down to demonic or angelic, that you think it's a good or bad. You think it's black and white, which
Yeah.
I'm like, no, man. If a demon shows up, well, yeah, but if an angel shows up, that's even worse.
Yeah, if you've
That's even
ever
if
seen,
if you've ever like read your Bibles or any type of religious text, or even seen, like, what was it, the movie The Prophecy
mm,
with Christopher Watkins. You know, like that. They say a line in that film where it's just like, you ever notice that whenever an angel, whether it be the cherubs or even like any type, show up, it's never for like a good reason. They didn't just show up to say, "Hey, how you doing?" It's like I got some good news for you. No, there's there's a reason why, and depending on the level of the angel or whatever, it's like, oh man, you really
Mhm.
screwed up. You really did. Like,
Yeah.
if you got one of the archangels coming down, I'm like, oh, what did you do?
Mhm.
What did you do? Why is there a naked baby horned lion here? What did
Yeah.
you do, Michael?
Yeah, yeah, and like if you've ever read the Divine Comedy by Dante
Mm,
Alighieri, like once you
mm-hmm.
get to Paradiso, because a lot of people don't like,
Yeah.
you always hear Dante's
Yeah, they
Inferno,
only
Dante's Inferno, Dante's
Inferno.
Inferno, but it's like,
Yeah,
but it's like,
there's
but like, but
three
you do
people. There's
realize
three.
it's a trilogy.
It's
It's a
it's lit. It's literally Star Wars. You're just talking about. You're
you're talking
talking
about the
about
Death Star Trench, but you're not talking about Cloud City or the Moon of
or
Endor.
yeah. Like it's like, wait, there's more. Of course, there's more. What are you talking about? Of course, there's more. And so
Like anyone with the basic understanding of Catholicism knows that there are three planes of the
I'm like,
ethereal
I
realm.
kind of, I kind of just say, if anyone wants to, not to whatever, but if you have not read Dante's Inferno and claim to be one of those type of people,
Mhm.
but you have not read Dante's Inferno, you need to go back and do your homework, dude.
Yeah.
Look, yeah, don't,
But
don't, don't.
yeah, so like there is a trilogy. Dante's
Mm-hmm.
Purgatorio is the
Mm-hmm.
second, and
Yeah.
Paradiso is the
Well,
third. And when you get to Paradiso and you see
oh boy.
the
Ooh.
description
Oh
of
yeah.
the angels,
Oh yeah. It's even in, I think. Oh God. Well, I think John. I think Peter has a couple in there of describing what they look like. And if you're not, go to TikTok. Go to TikTok before it's too late. Go to TikTok and you'll see. They'll give you a description of what they look like. They're not naked fat babies with wings.
mhm,
Those are the cherubs. Those are the cherubs, obviously.
mhm,
But
yeah,
yeah, it's kind of like, there's a reason why they say that, oh, well, this isn't what I really look like. This is just the form I take so you feel comfortable while I'm around. Well, what do you actually look like?
mhm.
I mean, do you really want to see? Do you really want to see? Because I'm like, no, I'm okay. I don't want. I feel like I might be looking into the eyes of an eldritch god at that point, and that's
Yeah.
not something I want to see either. So,
Yeah,
but
so the visual description of angels, according to Paradiso, they are more visual nightmare fuel than the actual demons from Inferno.
mhm,
like you got
mhm.
a demon that's overwatching greedy souls, like
you got
swimming in a
you
pot
got a
of melted
three-headed
gold.
you got a three-headed dog. You got, like, or depending, it's a three-headed creature. You have
You
you have like, kind of cloven hooved monstrosities, like a mixture of animal and man, with horns and fangs and
you
snouts and everything. But then it's kind
you,
of
you
like
even
it's
you even have Satan in a demonic form with three heads chewing on the bodies of Cassius, Brutus, and Judas. Which, by the way,
mhm.
why Brutus though? Like, I get that it's the circle of betrayal, but like, he had noble intentions to kill Caesar.
But I
Yeah,
know, but at the same
yeah,
time,
yeah, yeah.
Brutus was like, he was doing. I mean, we all know. Even Caesar said it. It's like, even though he might be smart and intelligent, that's his whole undoing. That's why he reads too much. He's full of himself. While he may believe he's doing good by the people, and he sure as hell was, it all boiled down to him. It was
Yeah.
about, how am I going to better you? How am I, if you are still here? The
Yeah.
only way that I can be better is if you're gone, which, it's like, well, I mean, Caesar was already up there. I mean, it wasn't going to take that long to do it. But I mean, they're to me that's your reason. But yeah, but then you get to what's upstairs, and you're like, would you rather be up? Would you rather be in the dark, not seeing what's down there, or would you rather be upstairs where the lights are on and you actually see what's up here? Because I gotta tell you, man, that is some Rob Zombie level of illustration when you look at it, and I'm like, why is this better up here? Well, I mean, it just is. I'm like, okay, we got AC. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, very, very. I did not notice the Terrapins in the first viewing when I saw this, but now, but I see. Obviously, see the dodos. I see the lion. And of
You
course,
see the vines.
Yeah, I see it, and of course, it goes in between. Obviously, the battle between the lion and Wataru, along with Jiro and the lion.
Yeah, actually, I don't like that aesthetic where it's like you got Jiro in his wolfen form in one side, simultaneously with Wataru in his Garu saber form, which is actually a nice touch. Although
I was actually, would have been awesome at this point if actually the Garu Flassel would have like shot into his hand, like if he had known. I think Jiro, like, he's probably like, I sense something. I sense someone that I've not sensed since, like,
or what if like he tries to like summon either
like
Basha or
and
then it's like out of nowhere he shoots out, knocks the other one out of the way because it's like, no, this is my thing.
Yeah. I really wish they did that, because it's just kind of like he just grabs the Garu and that's it. And it's just like, why did you take Garu? Why didn't you take why didn't you take Ricky? Why didn't you take Ramon? It's like, no, automatically he just does. I'm like, it would have been better if it had been forced. Like, I summoned. Wait, why did I get him? It's like,
or if he lost control over Garu's saber because of that confliction that Jiro had like from the past. Because it's not 100% clear whether it's like Wataru in control of those bodies, but with like slight influence of like the monsters, or if it's the three monsters possessing his body outright. It's never made clear, but like it would have been interesting if like something out of touch would happen with Garlu in that scene that we normally wouldn't see when he uses Garlu.
That totally would have been a pretty awesome to have. But no, we just have a battle that's kind of being mirrored. Like what happened in '86 is repeating itself, except one's in a parking garage and the other one was outside. You got a wolf and a lion going at it while having a Kamen Rider in there for some freaking reason. Just and it's personal. This is all personal.
So obviously Jiro loses, but then like later on he does explain to Otoya, hey, listen, I know we hate each other for a lot of reasons we're not going to go into, but this dude's a problem, and let me explain to you all about him so that we can work together just this once.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Because maybe if we worked as a pack, we might have better odds. And
I mean, it got so much that literally Jiro, I mean, I think this might be the first time that it's happened. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he got, like you said, he got his ass kicked. He did. But he donned Itza. Like his Wolfen pride had been just shot, that he put on this suit. I'm like, wow, you really, really are at a crossroads. That's why he decided to go to Toya and be like, hey, I need to talk to you.
And it's cool to see Ixa and Garlu side by side working together to fight a Rook, but they still get unceremoniously butt whooped. And
Well,
it's tragic.
Jiro is not at 100%, and neither is Toya. Not to mention,
Because he's still suffering injuries from the previous 2 episodes. Like he literally needs Yuri to like feed him, and actually it's kind of funny how like when she feeds him, like he turns away slightly to hide his disgust, and then like he opens his mouth again. He's like, It's like it's one of those jokes where it's like you probably don't notice on your first viewing, and it's so subtle you probably don't even notice on your second viewing. But I noticed it because Yuri sucks at cooking.
Yeah, no, it's weird, but yeah, we do that. But again, this random lion who has lost his memory is still walking about, still all over the place. But now we get to the
2008 side.
Yeah, the 2008 side, which again, one episode focused on 86. Now we're back on 2008 because now so how did this lion get amnesia? Why has he just been wandering around? And what is the deal with this cute girl and her family-owned restaurant?
Yeah, so to go over it briefly, we Wataru and Nishizuka do happen to notice a weird guy like trying to like save a crawfish from drowning, which makes no sense because crawfish. But yeah, no, it's some dude with amnesia, so they name him Dai-chan, and he's so adorable, yet looks suspiciously like Rook. Because while we're focusing completely on 86 at first and then 2008 in its entirety after, these are being intercut with each other. So like the pattern. It's like, oh no, this amnesiac is Rook. Oh no. So like for me, like the best part of the 2008 storyline is the fact that this is a powder keg waiting to blow.
It's literally the incident that happened in the Middle East with the storage facility full of nukes and chemicals that went boom, if you all remember that.
Yeah.
It's at that level because everything looks fine and under control, but next thing you know, you're literally not realizing you're standing on top of a nuke.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not an issue of if, but when.
When.
It's like, it's gonna be a when.
If this guy was a tool and an asshole in 86, imagine when he finally snaps back after 20 years of being just like loopy doopy and out of it. He's gonna be
it's like I don't know if you've ever seen Alfred Hitchcock's TV show back in the day.
Hitchcock Presents.
Yeah, like there was an episode called Bang You're Dead where you got the kid who played Anthony Fremont from Twilight Zone. He's like playing he's playing like a cowboy with a toy gun, and like it seems normal, but then somehow he accidentally ends up with his father's real gun. And he's like running around town, and at any moment, if anyone pisses him off, he like based on his previous pattern of behaviors, he's gonna go bang, you're dead. But here's the thing: this time it's a real gun. So like everyone's like running around chasing after this kid, trying to find him before something happens that cannot be undone. So what's beautiful is like there's no supernatural element to this story. There's no serial killer. There's no ghosts, monsters, aliens, gremlins on the side of an airplane, or kids making adults disappear, turn into jack-in-the-boxes. It's the suspense of like, at what point will this kid pull the trigger? And that's where will that trigger be aiming?
And of course, what will cause the trigger to go off? Because again, in this episode, Dai goes off with the cute girl just to like whatever, which I think her father is kind of like worried because he's like,
because she's ditzy.
Yeah, she's ditzy and he's ditzy, but it's like, don't worry, there's nothing will happen unless the asshole rears his ugly head, which again should be in like 5 minutes from now.
Yeah,
it's like he starts to remember things. Like he's starting to.
Yeah, and he gets killer headaches.
It's slowly coming back. It's like he he remembers a certain pond. He remembers a certain area, and it's just like it's slowly.
He notices certain scratch marks
Yeah,
on the
so
side of a building.
and he's like, huh, and it's like, there you go, there you go. And then we got the whole thing with Megumi. How you doing, Megumi? I know you haven't been in these episodes, but how are you? And she's just talking about like we need to get each of like compatible and blah 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 because it's like if this threat is really what we think it is, we're gonna need him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, yeah. So what? Again, what do you guys know that you guys
Cause,
aren't telling
yeah,
us?
because Kisuke got arrested earlier.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah, we didn't mention that
No.
because he gets out just as quickly, uh, but yeah, and so like what's really scary is like it's like Dyson is just so adorable because he's this innocent goofball, and like that deep inside is lurking
He's
this
literally
horrifying serial killer because like his thing, and this is something that Jiro actually explains. For those of you who weren't observant in the previous, episode of what he does, he basically like to play a game similar to the Grongi, where he must kill a certain number of people with certain conditions within a certain time limit. If he wins, he gets himself a parfait. But if he fails, he electrocutes himself.
Yeah, he's a total masochist. Like he's a total psycho. And if he fails, he punishes himself. So either or, I think he actually enjoys it. He is just a sadist through and through. Like he is just this lion is definitely unhinged. Like to the extreme. There's no screw looses. They're all loose.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cumbersome, but what's really sad is like this girl is being super sweet on him, and her dad who owns the restaurant like sees how happy she is around him, so he's like, I want to take in Dyson. I want him to work in my restaurant. I want him to learn the ropes. I want him to take on my business when I'm gone. This really beautiful.
This whole
such a wholesome thing happening.
Yeah. It's kind of
only for him and his daughter. Yes, even the daughter to be killed by the very person that they welcome to their lives with open arms.
Ain't it the way? Ain't it the freaking way?
Like you even see her body just fall to the floor and shatter.
Yeah, no, literally like just a pavement of glass, just like, oh my god, like he literally left everyone in the restaurant just I mean, to put into context, people, I know that we're like leaving them as like just paves of glass. Imagine walking into like the most gnarliest 80s level like gore fest.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine walking into this restaurant. Imagine Kamen Riders, an R-rated movie, and it's just like, no, they're not sucked dry. They're dead. They're decapitated. I think the owner's head is in the soup, and it's boiling. Like it really is just like, what the hell, dude?
Yeah, and the crazy part is it's like, okay, two things. One, earlier in the two-parter, Kiva did say, there's something odd about Wataru's new friend. And I'm thinking to myself, why is it that every time Kiva notices something odd about Wataru's new friend, it turns out they're a Fangayer? Like,
yeah, Kibat is a massive dick. It's like he's literally Wallace Wells. He's like, oh, Wataru, bad guy. You should get him.
yeah.
I kind of already knew.
You'd think.
I kind of already knew. I'm like, if you knew, why didn't you say anything?
No,
You never asked.
He's like seemingly believes where it's like there's something weird about this guy, but he doesn't question it further.
Yeah, it's just like
So then when in both cases,
You want to put your 2 cents in there? Like,
so that in
seriously?
both cases, like when you have the frog dude or the lion dude, it's like when they finally transform in front of Wataru, Kiva's like, "What? He's a vampire? Holy
I
smokes!
thought he was just some weirdo. I don't know. I'm kind of the same way. I'm just like I call people out and I'm just like, I think this guy's a little nuts. I think this guy's like, here's the thing I tell people many times, like, if I say it, if I'm the one who says it, I think you should really pay attention to what I'm telling you.
Yeah,
But I mean, I'm like, yeah, it's like, what? He was a bad guy all along?
yeah,
Oh, the deception. He
yeah,
was such a nice guy too. I added him on Facebook.
yeah,
I
yeah.
added him to my private Discord.
Yeah, no,
Oh, and that
it's
poor
like that
girl.
episode. It's like that
Oh my
episode
god.
of Community when they find that trampoline in the back of the campus, and like it turns out that the janitor was a white supremacist the whole time, and they're like, "Oh my god, he's a racist! How do we not see that? Did we though?" And then
Did you
there's
not
like
see?
flashbacks.
Did you not see his locker, his back of the house? Like, no, really? That none of that.
It's like you did not notice the swastika tattooed on his chest. He's like, oh, it's gonna be a maze.
Mm-hmm.
And like you didn't question that. It's like if it's
No,
a
he didn't question.
maze.
It's amazing how like in the scene that like when all this went down in the present, like the lion finally comes back. It's like, honey, are you seriously asking what happened? You were here seeing it happen.
Mm-hmm. Are
Your
you saying you've
dad.
never wait? Are you saying you've never seen a person get consumed by a Fangar? Actually, now that I think about it, I wonder,
No.
has Walter ever personally seen a Fangire consume a human?
No, but I mean, humans don't know either. But the fact that I'm like, I love how the image is like when you see Dai, and as the girl is like asking what is happening, what's going on, and you see the stained glass like from from all this area from here all the way down.
Yeah,
It's just stained glass. It's to me, it's a symbolism of like blood or cannibalism because it's like he literally wiped everyone out. He literally has massacred everyone in this restaurant.
and,
Like
and
they're all just dead, and he has the
the
eyes of a
scariest part of
madman.
that scene. It's like even though they're the same person, played by the same actor, you could still say that like Dai and Rook, they look like two different people in a sense. Like how like Clark Kent and Superman look like two
Yeah,
different people. So the scariest thing for me is in that scene is it's like when you see him with his face all stained glassed.
like his wide eyes, just like
Yeah.
also
It's like
stained glass.
you don't see Rook's face in stained glass. You see
It's
Dai's
Dai's
face.
face.
Like that's what makes it worse.
Yeah,
Because if it was just
yeah.
Rook's face,
Because
like you
he
wouldn't
he
even.
would have he would have been smiling. See, here's the Rook would be smiling and taking pleasure in what he did. Dai is realizing what is happening. It's kind of like I see, I know, but I cannot control my body. Someone else is doing this, not me. Like he has the
Yeah,
look of fear in his eyes as he's doing it. Even when he kills the cute restaurant girl,
yeah,
literally, literally just falls down and shatters into a million pieces. Like no,
yeah.
she's dead, dude. She's dead. This was one that did not deserve it. She is dead. There's no
Yeah,
coming back.
Yeah, it's like you'd think, oh, like maybe he'll eat her dad, but she makes a run for it. Maybe she'll escape. Maybe she'll try to cope with the trauma. Maybe she might become a cameo like Kango. No, she
No,
dies too.
it's literally like Chi-Chan in Build. It's like you think this is gonna be a recurring character. No, gone, dead. Like
Yeah,
no, they are dead, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone else is like laid out. I mean, we don't really know what happens to someone when they get bit or get drained. They kind of like so they just stay that way. I mean, if the Vanguard dies, do they come back?
Yeah,
But we don't know. We don't know. Well, we do,
yeah,
but we don't. But yeah, poor girl just got just ugh, just ugh.
yeah. It's horrible, like seeing his face, like when it
Mm.
happens.
Oh yeah, no, and the fact that he's like that, like when Wataru shows up and he just goes
Yeah,
full on berserk. It's like
yeah,
you look at him as the confrontation is happening, and he is just
yeah,
like, again, this is still Dai, not Rook. But finally, when the battle between
yeah.
Kiva and him
Like this.
happened,
This was painful to see. Like,
oh no, that's what I'm talking about.
yeah,
That's what I mean. That look on his face, he knows what he did. He's kind of like, yes, but at the same time, it's like he is like it's like his eyes are saying one thing, but his body is saying another. Like he
yeah,
is just like he's so down for the carnage, but his eyes, like, it's kind of like he's crying on the inside.
yeah.
He doesn't want it to happen, but it's happening.
Oh wait. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
Yeah, that look, that, oh my god, look at that. That is a psychopath right there.
Yeah,
That
this face was
that
painful to look at.
that was a painful thing. I'm like, why do we not have like stills? God damn it, really?
Yeah,
That's a face right there. You're like, oh yeah,
yeah,
that's totally gonna give me nightmares at night. Like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, definitely.
yeah. No. That
That's
still
the look
is
of a
nightmare.
murderer.
Yeah,
That's the look of a murderer right there.
mhm,
And of course, it's like once Wataru shows up and like he Dai now accepts it, but now Dai and Rook become one.
yeah.
They like he knows, he gets it, but it's
He's
like,
like, it's like I've been sleeping for 22 years.
mm,
Nothing fills me with more rage than this.
yeah,
Ah!
mm, and
Yeah,
just like it, yeah, it literally is that. It's literally a showdown between a rider and a demonic lion. It really
yeah,
is.
yeah, and like this is the first time we see Walker like
Oh no,
get
he's mad. He's furious. He is full on just like, oh hell no. Because
yeah.
again, you're like, you're supposed to live a good life. You're supposed to, but and
You
again, this has
killed the
this
one girl that cared about you.
yeah, this
She
has
took
been
you
done.
in.
This has been done. Although I do love, I mean, if you notice the aesthetic between the lion now compared to what he was back then,
Mhm.
like, because again, he is a rook, so he is like he's a tower. In his form that he's fighting with Kiva, for those who are
Yeah,
noticing, there are now Ivy.
yeah.
Like that wasn't there before. That wasn't
Yeah.
there before.
I
It
mean, I
literally
noticed the ivy, but
it's
was it there in the past?
no, it was not there in the past. See, like if you look at him as he's going in the past, it's not there. It's only here when he's fighting Wataru. It's to like show that time has passed. Like this abandoned tower where horrible things have happened, it's been abandoned and like da da, but like now it's active again. But still with the dead, decaying ivy that's been hanging from him. Like,
No, I'm trying to get a good view of him. No, the ivy. No, there's still ivy in the past. I
but
mean,
it
maybe
looks
there's more of it
there's more.
now.
Yeah, there's more of it now. So yeah, he is. Yeah, he is just, yeah. It is
Yeah,
so bad.
I see it now. Like, because like in '86, like it only extended up to his legs, but
Mhm.
like when you go
Now
to like 2008, it
it's
goes
all
all the
over.
way up his body. Yeah,
Yeah, it's all over the place. So now it's more defined. It's like, yeah, we
yeah,
need more to show that time has gone by.
yeah.
Although, yeah, Watu is getting his ass kicked. He's like,
Yeah,
this
like
this
like
this
he
guy is
never got it kicked this hard because in the past it's like, oh yeah, no, he would get slapped around a little bit, but he would still have like, like you would just use a Westler and then turn the tables, but no, he's just
yeah, he's getting his act to the point that Kiva like literally called on the dragon to come and help him out. It's like, guys, we need backup. We need him out of. Get to the chopper.
get to the dragon castle.
I was like, yeah, and then I just out of nowhere, fucking Nago shows up. Like, where have you been, jackass?
Yeah, like
Where
where
have
did
you?
you and your excavator come from?
Yeah, where is the metal dragon? We need that. We need like where the hell have you been? Like, yeah, we got 5 minutes left. So I'm like, yeah. So I
Yeah,
don't. Again, I look at this thing and I'm like, it's literally a modified excavator. That's
yeah,
literally what it is.
yeah. So I do find it interesting how, like, in episode 8, like the prawn Fangire had to put so much work into like harvesting enough Fangire souls to make a
Yeah,
giant
yeah.
Fangire
And yet
chandelier thing. But like
this
Rook,
guy.
like he could just snap his fingers and a bunch of them just show up from out of nowhere and turn
It
into
you,
another one.
you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Bleach, like
Yeah.
how remember when they
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, yeah. The
like
Menos
when the
Grandes.
Menos Grandes were first like appeared, how a big deal they were made. Like only captains or lieutenants were able to take them on, and no one else could. But then you find out that like
They're only
later
the
on they
first of 3 forms.
yeah, it's like yeah, no, yeah, the Menoses are that, but that's all they are. It's like, oh no, they are powerful, yeah, but it's like technically those are just the foot soldiers. Those are this is a grunt. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a gift junior. It's just a gift junior. It's a putty.
I'm like, you're telling me that a lieutenant like Rukia, you said that like you needed captain level like power to take on a Menos. I'm like, I think that's again, you're literally shooting flies with a cannon at that point.
It's like this. It's like you need 100. You need 100 hollow souls to merge together into a hive mind to make one Menos Grande. And
I
then
mean,
you
a
need
menace that can evolve into an Adhucha, and then
Yeah,
from
and
the
in order to
Adhucha,
evolve into an Adhucha, like it needs to absorb like a bunch of
more,
Menos
yeah.
Grandes have to combine together, and
Mhm.
one of them has to retain like a sense of individuality, and
Yeah.
that becomes an Adhucha. And
And
then
then
an
from
Adhucha, well, like it stays singular before it becomes a Vasta Lourdes, but it needs to consume the flesh of other Adhuchas in order to become a Vastalorde.
yeah, that's pretty much what these things. It's just
Yeah.
like, so wait, we made a big deal for it to be yeah, but now it's like, yeah, no, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
it's
they
like,
can conjure them
hey,
up. No,
remember how you almost died fighting younger Tagura 100%? Yeah, it turns out he's only a B rank demon. There's
yeah,
A and S rank above him.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. But of course, Nago shows up with this fucking mechanical, like CGI mess of a crane taking out Castle Dora. Wataru is knocked out, but it's like, what the hell is going on here, people?
Mhm.
Like, what's going on? Like, everything's gone to shit. It's like, yep,
Yeah.
we know. But now Castle Dora has taken Kiva inside of it.
Yeah.
Why?
It'd be interesting if they ended the episode just a few seconds quicker, just make it appear that Castle Doran's about to consume Kiva. Like not
Well,
even like
yeah,
yeah,
like
because
you
we see
failed.
it consuming Fangires as food, but we've never but the thing is it's like what does it mean if Kiva goes inside of its mouth?
It is kind of
But no,
ominous. It is
yeah,
kind of
but
ominous because like here now, Jiro
is
carries
holding
Wataru
yeah.
is holding him. So this is the first time I think that Wataru and yeah, literally it's the first time they're on screen together.
Yeah.
We've seen these characters, we know who they are, but this is like the first time we've actually seen them together. And it's just
Yeah.
like, is Wataru dead? Is he now gonna be inside Castle Dora instead
Yeah,
of
because
being out and
like so
about?
far, like we can only speculate. Like, why is it that Jiro, Ramon, and
Ricky.
Ricky they never leave Castle Doran, and the rare chances
Mhm.
that they do, they're
Their
weapons.
weapons, yeah.
Yeah, like does this mean that they're dead? Question mark. And if that's the case, if Wataru is in Castle Doran, does that mean he's also dead? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Now
that's how
and
the
then
episode ends.
that's where it ends because now it's like, well, till next week, keep racking your brains because we're not sure if he's dead or not. But he did get his ass kicked pretty bad.
Yeah. All right.
Ooh.
So, what scores would you give these episodes?
I did not like the whole music. The first two episodes, I thought they were very stale and boring. I mean, like the whole premise of like keeping trophies of your fallen. That's actually like, okay, that's very Hannibal Lecter. That's very kind
Yeah,
of
it's
very
like
very
Top Dollar from Crow.
yeah, it's very also like very Adhucha, like the Predators from
Yeah.
Predator, where it's just like you keep the trophy of what you hunted. But the motivation, the that whole thing was just like, dude, you're getting scammed. How do you not know this? Like, are you serious? And if we don't ever see Kondo again, I mean, for the better. But again, I can't really say much about it. But these last two, from 15 to 16, that's where that is the meat. That is the meat on the bone right there, because you get one episode dedicated to Yuri, Toya, and Jiro, and then you finally get with the common enemy being this lion Fangire,
Mhm.
and then you have Shizuka, Dai, and Wataru, along with these restaurant owners, the daughter, the father, and everyone that's involved. Just like, wait a minute, what? Only for it all to go down so badly. It's like, if I were to say in total, the first two, I give them sixes. They're like a 6 or a 5. They're not at all. You could skip them if you want, because they don't really pay off in terms of a story.
Mhm.
But these two, the final two, that was like, oh my god, what the heck? And what's this? What's this upgrade for Itza? What's going on? Like, who is this lion? Who is this chess piece? What are the chess pieces? What are these factions of people? Why are the Fangires doing this? Everything is just starting to open up. So I
Yeah.
give these two a 9. Like,
Mhm.
it really is. And especially leaving it off there, I'm like, is Wataru dead? Is he not? He's gonna go talk to his weapons now,
Mhm.
his Shikais and his Bankais
Mhm.
before, like, for fire, like, but I'm like, what?
Distracciones.
Yeah, what yeah, is Wataru even aware that these weapons are living creatures? I don't think so.
Yeah, I wonder because like
I don't
it's
think
like
so.
because honestly because like even when we get to a certain episode in the second arc, which I'm not gonna get into, it's like it really seemed like even Wataru's not fully aware. Like it really seems like a certain other character who I will not name becomes aware of these characters before even Wataru does, which it would be very weird if that was the case.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to wait, people. We
Yeah.
know. Yeah, we know.
Now, I will say this: you kind of have a point with the 2008 side of episodes 13 and 14. It's like it feels like a generic it feels like a generic like episode you could skip. If not, I appreciate that Kengo did show up just because it's like, oh, this character who appeared in the last two episodes isn't just a one-off character. He's gonna show up more frequently. How frequently remains to be seen because we don't see him in episodes 15 and 16. But like, hey, he's there.
He's still
Walter has a
alive.
friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's still alive. It would have been more if the rhinoceros Fangire had succeeded. Like, can you imagine just Wataru going from losing a friend to now gaining a new friend, and then for that
And then
friend to
turns
be
out that gay a new friend to be a
the
monster, even
psycho?
worse.
Yeah, I'm like, that would have been like, oh my god, that would have been like, bro, he's trying to recover from losing his friend, and now his new friend is literally a psychopath. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, no, look,
But
I feel sorry for Wataru at this point.
Wataru boy, hang in there, hang in there.
We
But
believe in you.
you're gonna get a pep talk pretty soon. You really are.
Shonen yo kimi no hibike.
So
Uh,
yeah. Till
yeah,
next time, we will have the talk with the
yeah.
three Bankais about
So
what is happening.
but the 1986 part, I have a little bit more respect for it, just because we do see like Otoya trying to be clever in like retrieving the Ixa knuckle from Jiro, and I love his moxie that he's like trying to pretend that he's not affected by it, even though he is severely being injured by it.
He is truly an example of a man that is trying to better himself and make of the world. Like
Yeah,
Jiro
he's
gives
like
off.
Captain Jack Sparrow in a sense.
Yeah, Jiro gives off the vibes of what people want men or a man to be like, stone cold, and like someone like Toya is like very off-putting to a lot of people because of how he is and how he's like, very cartoonish, very
Yeah,
very loud and bombastic. But when it comes down to where it counts the most, it's like
he follows through.
he follows through, and it's like, oh no, dude, the man is dying, but he's not showing you, he's not telling you. Where if it was Jiro wears all his emotions on his sleeves. He really does, regardless that he's got that stone cold look on his face. His emotions are always there. It's like he's mad, he's angry, he's interested. It's like, no, I know what you're thinking, Jiro. I know you. But Toya, on the other hand, despite him being an idiot, it's like, no, he's way better than you are. And that's the thing that I kind of feel like, Yuri, you don't see that, do you? You don't get it. And that's why it's going to suck even later on when you finally do. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Now for 15 and 16, I don't think there's anything I could say that we haven't already said. For me, these two episodes is a solid 10 because world building, stakes adding, and also like you have the rise and fall and rise again, but mostly the fall. It's like, man, it's
Kiva definitely got his ass kicked. He definitely got slammed down hard.
I and it's good too, because it's like, can you imagine if someone was like obscenely perfect, like Tendo Soji or Ace Yukio, where it's like they always win all the time, like they never have to go through, or at least they don't easily express things that they go through emotionally when they go through, like, not necessarily physical hardship, but specifically mental hardship. Like,
well, that's the thing also, is that we also assume that Wataru just can't handle anything, especially how Shizuka treats him most of the time.
that's true, because like he's been agoraphobic for 22 years. Like he basically, I mean, loosely agoraphobic, not like hardcore Joan Cusack from Shameless. Man, this is the second time I mentioned her. But yeah, no, it's like, but yeah, so it's like you assume he has no practical life skills or an intelligence or emotional quotient. But the thing is, those things have to be forged through experience, and unfortunately, like, he's been just thrown into the deep end of the pool before he could dip his toes into like the slightly deeper slope, midway through the pool.
As messed up as that is, I mean, that's how some people learn how to swim and swim perfectly. Because if you're not gonna take it one step at a time, well, let's have a little panic and a little discord go with that and see how that goes for you. So
because like, as you might find with Fangires, Wolfen, Orphanox, Worms, Humagears, there is no programming in the algorithm of an organism's mind more powerful than the instinct to survive. And sometimes you could create or destroy when you harness that raw instinct. Okay, let's go to the comments. Let's see what you guys got before we close things off. All right, Triple XYZ says, in Japanese, rook and cool are the same word spelled backwards. Yeah, like it did. I get why you mentioned this, because Kiva, like, for these two episodes, the latter two episodes, he did mention, like, he was like talking about chess in episode 15, And then in episode 16, he's focused completely on just Rook, and then swerve to the word cool. It's like cool means awesome. I am cool, right? So I was like wondering, why does he bring that up? But then it just occurred to me today, in fact, that like, oh, I just realized if you say Rook, like with the Japanese pronunciation, it would be Roku. And but if you say cool, they would say Kuru.
Kuru. Mm-hmm.
So, and when you think about it, because like Japanese is a phonetic language, like you have two letters, ku and ru, and when you spell them backwards, you got ruku.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, rook means tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else
All
we
right.
got?
Okay. I gotta love these episodes. I'm glad you do.
They're wonderful episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. I love how Kengo is a recurring but non-regular character. He comes and goes, but he's there to move the plot along. I mean, not necessarily in episode 14, but
you could literally have like Shizuka or Megumi. I mean, you have them for that, obviously, but they're prevalent to the story, where it's like you kind of just like, Kengo. After what happened in these episodes with him, I was like, why are you even here?
I mean, I get why he was written in the first place, because let's be honest, Shizuka and Megumi are trying to be his mommy.
Not in that way.
But what Wataru needs is a friend, like a real friend.
Yeah, not Nago.
Now, what Nago, like, he tries to make Nago his mentor, but Nago's not exactly the best role model, so...
Like, Nago is very black and white, and that's for any character that has that type of trait, that's never, ever a good sign.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, sometimes you might say, like, I'm gonna take Nago's side over Megumi's because you're thinking he's more experienced, he has a better understanding of how to handle certain things. But the thing is, no, actually, Megumi's the one who's in the right, because she understands people better than Nago does, because he sees things in black and white. She sees a gray gradient. So a gradient, if you will.
That's what you really need to have in life. It's not black and white, people. Yeah. So don't be Nago.
Yeah. But what Wataru needs is a friend, because that's a different kind of relationship. So I'm glad Kengo's there for that, but maybe don't start on the foot of you don't believe in me and you're jealous. It's like, but how can you be jealous if he came to me first?
Yeah, what the fuck?
It's like he came to Wataru first. Why would Wataru be jealous?
Everything to you, Keigo, and yet you're like, oh, you're just jealous. Where, you dumb bad?
Show some receipts.
Did the bleach like seep into your brain or something? Like where was Wataru ever salty about what it is that you want? I would imagine. I mean, not to shit on anyone's dreams or anyone's like interest or anything, but I'm like trying to forge the perfect violin, an actual like using science and chemistry and the craft of woodworking as compared to being a rock star. Like, because
that takes more dedication, because there's more trial.
The thing of Kengo is not saying like he wants to be like he doesn't want to be like Gene Simmons or any like like Led Zeppelin or REO Speedwagon. He just wants to rock the world out. He wants them like, well, what is that, Kengo?
Yeah, what does that even mean?
What does that mean? It's like someone saying to me, I want to be a great warrior. I'm like, well, what does that mean? What makes a great warrior? What makes a great musician?
I want world peace. What does world peace even mean?
What is it that you want? What explain to me what that means? Because it's like, we remember rock stars like Freddie Mercury. We remember, like the greats, Aretha Franklin, Ella Fitzgerald. We remember, those voices that are just like, oh my God, yes. It's like, but with you, Kengo, I don't. What is it that you're trying to do? Because it just seems like you're just
It's like, yes, you're a talented artist. There's no question about it. There's
You're
no
plain white rice. That's what you are, Kango.
there's
You're
no
plain white rice.
there's no question that you have technical guitar skills, but like
Mhm.
what direction
Are you trying
are
to be
you?
like Hendrix? Are you
Yeah,
trying to
like
be like? Are you trying to be
what are you trying to
like Sid Vicious?
construct?
Yeah, that's the thing with Kango. It's just like, and if I remember and if I recall right, we never really truly understand what he just wants to be. It's like he just wants to be famous.
Mhm.
That's it. Where Wataru, it's like again with what we had with the Frog Fengar, it's about like again
Respecting the craft.
respecting the craft, but it's like you can't repeat what someone did
Yeah, you
because
have
if
to
you
do your own
do,
thing.
you have to make your own mark. You have to because it's going to be perfect to you. You see the perfection in here, but I promise you, your dad didn't. But
Mhm.
you do. Everyone else sees like, oh my god, look at the Black Star violin. Like the frog even said there was problems with it. But
Yeah,
it's like no, but everyone else in the world saw it. It's perfect. It's amazing.
it's
But it's
worth
like
2 million yen. No, two
what
hundred million yen.
200 million. Damn, god damn it, Toya. But
$2
it's
million
like,
dollars.
yeah. So it's like, you got to make your own thing. That's why, like, Kengo, I was like, I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt the last review, but then reminding me of these episodes, I'm like, dude, he is just.
Mhm.
I'm like, I know I judge on Yuri like a bit because of who she is, but I'm like, dude, Keigo is at the bottom of characters for me. Like
Mhm.
Yuri is not even at the bottom.
Right.
Like like KO's there with all the episode fangires that have just died. It's like no, they were here there. That's where he should be. That's for
Yeah.
me anyway.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. What would you guys consider to be your one talent that the Rhino guy would hunt you for?
Uh, uh,
That's a tough one.
that is a tough one because I've dabbled in so much.
Yeah. See, I would say if I had a talent, my talent is literally learning things. Because like I can solve Rubik's cubes, I can archer, I can lift weights, I've been a competitive swimmer, like I've done so many different things that like people would mistake me for oh like the most interesting man in the world, which by the way I don't think I am. But the thing is because it's like I just dabble in a lot of things and I just go 100% on every single one of those things. But it's like, but I would have to say if like I had to relegate that in a way that could be simply defined, it's like my one talent is the ability to learn things. But like how would you put that in the form of a trophy though?
A notebook with your ideas and possibly.
It's like you can't like the concept of learning can't really like physically express as a defined thing like playing a guitar or playing tennis because I'd be
Mm-hmm.
doing all of those things.
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, so and that's not me tuning my own horn. It's more like me just like being undecided on what I would consider to be my one concrete talent that you could put into the form of a trophy. But in a way, that goes back to what you said earlier. To another person, what I just described of myself may seem like perfection, but to me, I see that as a flaw. It's like,
Well, as I said, you yourself are your own harshest
yeah,
critic. So,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
oh boy.
But did you think of a response?
It would probably be just the creativity
Yeah,
aspect. I mean, I
yeah,
have drawn, I have created, I have sculpted in
yeah.
many shapes and ways. It would just be just that
Mhm.
because again, I'm my own harsh critic where I think like, making props for things or just, it to me, I'm like, this could be better. But someone's like, why did you throw it away? It was so amazing. Like the process, it's the process. But if anything, it might be just if they were to take I have a a special like case where I keep like all the various tools and crafts that I have had in my life. and then it's a go-to for when I'm making things, whether it be painting, drawing, crafting, whatever. It's like, yeah, you could take that and probably be like, yeah, this was a guy who knew his way around. He knew how to create things. But yeah, other than that, yeah.
Okay, last comment of the night. Yeah, no, you're right. Some people are really predatory towards people's aspirations for entertainment industry, and I'm not even talking about real agents. I'm especially talking about these fakers. Oh, yeah, no, it's like there are like people who, there are people who are like not even real talent agents and just want to take your money, saying, "Oh yeah, no, there'll be a big break, but you got to keep." Forking over.
You gotta keep investing, because how are you supposed to make it if you don't invest in your future? And blah,
yeah, blah. And again, like this guy's like, and again, the writer dude keeps gaslighting. So like, whenever someone asks, it's like, so when will I have my exhibit? When will I be a league baseball player? When will I have my first concert? He keeps telling them, "Oh, well, that kind of attitude. I don't think you're really that passionate about your thing after all."
I think that's a basic question that anyone would ask. Dumbass. Like, but again, everyone in this episode is just so like they don't get it. They don't understand that they're getting ahead. But I mean, I guess that's just the writing of it all.
Yeah, but that's also how a lot of people fall victim, like when they try to aspire to the industry,
especially like what's been happening recently with certain documentaries and things that have recently come out. And not to go into that, but I'm like, no, the entertainment industry,
it's a minefield.
It literally is. So.
Well, if you guys are at least entertained by our ramblings, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon to stay notified for our latest videos. Also, please be sure to share our videos to any friends, families, or other associates that may be interested in our content, because it really helps us out with the algorithms. You can find us discussing Ultraman Tiga on Mondays, Kamen Rider Gacha on Wednesdays, which, by the way, this week will be Rider Day, perfectly placed. Bakuage Sentai Boom Boom Draw on Thursdays, and Kamen Rider Kiva on Sundays. And please be sure to check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show. We do movie reviews, video game news, etc. We are currently doing Naked Gun month. We just did Naked Gun 2.5 Smell of Fear yesterday with Leonard, so definitely check that out. And this upcoming Saturday, we will be finishing it off with the final installment, Naked Gun 33 and 1/3, the final insult. So be sure to check that out. If you want to check out our personal content, you can find Steve
over on IG at the Sin Prince. I just post random videos, random art videos, and just things about my life. I do commissions, but they're all hand drawn. Just to let you know, commissions are open and fair.
Yeah. And of course, you can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto, and you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. With all that said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay hydrated, update your merch as you kids, and hug your loved ones, enjoy the springtime, and we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Next time, guys.